Hello everyone. We are going to see two things today: how to incorporate dividends in option pricing, and then we will go for pricing of an American option. Okay. In particular, we would focus only on American call option. Okay. For put option, things are much more complicated. Okay. Before that, let me introduce two terms. We can classify options into two types. So we can say that the option is in the money or out of money. Okay. So how is it decided? Now for call option, we say that option is in the money at time t, at any time t between 0 to capital T, if ST is greater than K. So can you see why? So we know that the call option is profitable if the strike price is less than the actual share price at time capital T. So in the case of an American option, you have a choice to exercise in between. So you would choose to exercise if only if ST is greater than K. Means having an option is beneficial to you at that particular time point if you want to earn profit only if ST is greater than K. Hence, we say that call option is in the money if ST is greater than K, and it is out of money if ST is less than K. Okay. Similarly, put option is in the money if ST is less than K, because for put option things are in opposite direction, and it is out of money if ST is greater than K. Okay. And using this in the money out of money concept, we define something called as intrinsic value of an option. Okay, so what is an intrinsic value of an option? For a call option, intrinsic value is defined as maximum of 0, ST minus K. Okay, so if an option is in the money, then its intrinsic value is positive. If an option is out of money, its intrinsic value would be negative. Okay. Similarly, for put option, intrinsic value will be defined as maximum of 0, K minus ST. So again, the logic is same. For in the money option, intrinsic value would be positive. For out of money option, intrinsic value would be negative. Okay. And we said that for American option, we can try to exercise before the actual time point. So actual expiry point. So exercising an option early is beneficial if intrinsic value of an option is greater than market value. Okay, exercising an option early is beneficial if intrinsic value of an option is greater than the market value of the option. Okay, and if market value is greater, you don't exercise. You either wait for next time period, or if you are immediately in need of money, you just sell the option, because exercising is going to give you less money, selling is going to give you more money, because market value is the selling price. Okay. Now, so these concepts are in the money, out of the money concepts are more useful for American option. So I said at the beginning of the lecture that we are going to see two things. First, how dividend price can be incorporated. First, how dividend amount can be incorporated in pricing of an option. So let us do that for European option first, and then we will move on to American option. So dividend in pricing of an option. So if you remember, we had done this for pricing of a future. How did we decide optimal price for a futures contract if dividend was there? We computed present value of the dividend and then we subtracted it from the present value of the asset. Okay, so exactly same thing we are going to do here. So for incorporating dividends, we need to know their amount and payment time in advance. Okay, so for incorporating dividend payments, we need to know the amount and time of the payments with certainty. There shouldn't be any randomness. Amount and time of payment. Okay. So what we do is we use the same strategy. So we reduce S0 by the present value of the dividend, and that reduced S0, if we use in the usual formula, then everything works. Okay, and use this reduced S0 in the pricing formula. Okay, use this reduced S0 in the pricing formula. So let us take one example to see how this works. Suppose we have an asset, we have a share whose current price is 40 and strike price is also 40. Sigma is given to be say 0.3. Risk-free rate of interest is suppose going to be 0.09 and T is 6 months. And we know that dividend is payable during these 6 months. So dividend dates are 2 months and 5 months from the starting of an option contract. Okay, from the starting of an option contract. And the amounts of dividend, see, dividends are going to be very small in amount. So generally most of the times even less than 10% of the actual share price. So amount of dividend is suppose 0.5 at both the time points. Okay, then present value of the dividends we need to compute first. So how do we compute present value? So this is the timeline, this is 0, this is 6 months. We know at 2 months and at 5 months you have dividend payments. So here you have say D1, D2. So to compute present value means to compute value at time 0, we need to discount back. Okay, so this would be 0.5 is the actual value into e raised to minus r into the first time gap, because first dividend is payable at 2 months. So 2 by 12, because all the rates are quoted annually, plus 0.5 e raised to minus r 5 by 12. Okay. So this we can substitute value of r and this turns out to be I think 0.9741. So it is not simply 0.5 plus 0.51, because we are discounting back, the present value is slightly less than the face value that you see. Okay, and now you revise your S0. So revised S0 would be original S0, that is 40 minus 0.9741. So this turns out to be 39.0259. And now you use this revised S0 in your usual formula for option pricing. So the formula that involves ln S0 by k, etc. And you can do the calculations. Let me write the final value so you can confirm. This turns out to be 3.67. Okay, this C turns out to be 3.67. Is it okay? So this is how the dividends affect the price of a call option. Now we have a small exercise for you. Compute without dividend also. Okay, so see what happens if you use original S naught, whether this small c is less or more. Okay, and in general also try to see a few things. So this is a small homework. Try to see effect of change in S naught K sigma R T on the option prices, both European call as well as European put. Okay, so what happens if you increase S naught? Does the call option price increase? Does the put option price increase, or do they decrease? The effect may be reversed in two cases. Okay, so for example, it may happen that for call option it increases and for put option it decreases. So same story about strike price sigma RT. Okay, for strike price maybe intuitively you can have some expectation. So for a call option, strike price is something that you are going to pay. So if strike price is high, then probably call option price might decrease, because if you are going to pay higher amount at the end, when I say this, keeping other things constant. Okay, so if you are going to pay higher price at the end, that option is less attractive and hence less costly. Okay, whereas for the put option, if strike price increases, then it means you are going to get more money at the end, so your P might increase. Okay, this is just an intuitive explanation. You have to verify it mathematically. Okay, if you cannot, if you can do it via formula analytically, well and good. If you can't, at least try a few values and see if you get some trend. Okay, and try to find justifications why that particular thing happens. For example, for strike price I tried to give one justification. So try to see why increase in sigma might say increase price of a call option or decrease price of a call option. Okay, so this is a homework. You have to find effect of all these quantities. Okay, so we saw earlier that we would exercise an option only if intrinsic value is more than the market value. Okay, what we know about American option? So we'll talk about only American call options. See, small c is suppose price of European call option and capital C is price of an American call option. Okay, what we know is capital C is generally going to be larger than small c, because you are getting more flexibility, you might be willing to pay more. And we do know something about small c, lower bound. So we know that small c at in between time point, so 0 capital T somewhere here, so Ct would be greater than St minus k e raised to minus r t minus t. From where does this come? In the maybe very in the beginning like of this course, we did derive lower bound for call option price. Okay, so that lower bound was something like this. Okay, so from that we have this, and we know for generally R is going to be positive, risk-free rate of interest is going to be positive. As a result, k e raised to minus r t minus t would be less than k. Correct? So, St minus k e raised to minus r t minus t would be greater than St minus k. Okay. And so if I combine these two inequalities, what do I get? Ct is greater than or equal to Ct is greater than or equal to St minus k raised to minus rt minus t is greater than St minus k. So I have capital Ct greater than St minus k, and capital Ct is of course market price, and St minus k we defined as intrinsic value of the option. So market price for an American option is generally greater than intrinsic value. So it is most of the times not beneficial to exercise the option in advance. Okay, Generally, okay, I'm not saying it's 100% true. Generally, it is not beneficial to exercise American call option before the expiry time. Okay, because of this. So most of the cases it is better to wait. There is some sort of philosophical explanation too. See, you have 0 here, you have capital T here. If you decide to exercise here, you will get some amount, okay, as a profit. But for getting that profit, you are paying the strike price, because call option gives you right to buy. Okay, so when you buy something, you are paying money from your pocket, and you are paying the same amount, because strike price doesn't change if you exercise in between time point, and or if you exercise at the expiry period time point. Okay, so instead of paying K at capital T, you are paying K at small t. So effectively you are paying more money. Are you getting my point? We are bringing in the present value of money concept here. Paying you 100 rupees today and paying you 100 rupees at the end of 3 months, they are not equivalent. Because if I have 100 rupees today and if I invest them in a bank for 3 months and then pay you at the end of 3 months, I would earn some interest over here. Okay, whereas if I pay you today, I won't earn any interest. So paying today is more expensive even though the amount looks same. So same thing happens here in an American call option. If I exercise the option at some intermediate time point, I have to shell out K rupees at that time point, which is mathematically more expensive than paying K rupees at the end of the expiry period. Okay, this is one reason. And secondly, holding on to the option may provide you insurance till capital T. Whereas if you exercise today, insurance cover is lost. Now what do I mean by insurance? See, why do you buy an option? Because you are worried that the share prices are going to change unexpectedly. Unexpectedly in the sense, you buy call option if you expect that the share prices may go up and you may not be able to afford to buy the option at that price, so you want to buy it at a less price, which is an option provided by the American call option. Okay, so it means that if suppose you exercise an option here and then if you want to buy at a later time point further, okay, if you want to okay, so generally it is not beneficial to exercise American call option before the expiry time period. Okay, so things may change slightly when there is a dividend component. So let us talk about dividend paying American call options. So suppose that there are n x dividend dates. So x dividend dates means these are the points at which dividend payment would be there. N x dividend dates during the life of an American option, call option. Okay, there are n x dividend days during the life of an American call option. So suppose those are denoted by T1, T2, etc. 0, T1, T2 up to Tn and capital T. Okay, and the dividend amounts are suppose D1, D2 up to Dn. They need not be same. So person will get dividend if he is holding on to the option at time Ti. Person will receive ith dividend if he is holding on to the option at time Ti. Okay. Now, if we exercise the option, just prior to TI, means just before receiving the dividend, then the amount that we receive would be STI minus K, correct? Amount that we receive would be STI minus K, because K is the amount that we pay and STI is actually the price of an option. STI is actually the price of the share. So our profit would be STI minus K. Okay, because we are exercising just prior to TI, so the dividend has not been received yet, so we don't have to worry about decreasing the initial price, etc. Okay, and if the option is not exercised, then in all our calculations the share price gets reduced by the dividend amount, because the dividend gets paid, then the share price gets reduced by amount DI. So the revised share price is STI minus DI, just add DI. So the dividend is paid, so the revised share price is this. Okay, and we have seen the discussion about intrinsic value and whether to exercise or not. So it is not optimal to exercise the option if intrinsic value is less than the market price. Okay, that is if STI minus K is less than STI minus DI minus K e raised to minus R TI plus 1 minus TI. Okay, because this is going to be a lower bound for the option price market value, hence this would mean that intrinsic value is less than the market value, so it is not going to be optimal. Okay, so which means that if D, I am simply rearranging, if DI is less than or equal to K times 1 minus e raised to minus R TI plus 1 minus TI. Okay, that is, it would be optimal to exercise if DI is greater than opposite, right? K into 1 minus e raised to minus R TI plus 1 minus TI. Now see, we know that dividend payments are very small and generally the rate of dividend yield is much smaller than this R, risk-free rate of interest. Plus, if you have 0 to T here, dividend payment slots, I mean suppose this is say TI, this is TI plus 1, this is generally going to be a significantly large value compared to 0 to T. Okay, because you might have like say only 3 or 4 payments. Okay, so compared to T, this is like 1/4 of T or something like that, so it is pretty large interval. As a result, this quantity is quite high, and e raised to minus higher quantity generally gives you value close to 0, so the total value will be close to K, and hence getting DI greater than strike price is almost impossible. So in most of the cases, it is not optimal to exercise the option. The only exception might come at the final dividend payment date. What can change at the final dividend payment date? So it may happen, okay, I am saying may, okay, so not necessarily always, it may happen that the final dividend payment date is very close to the expiry date. Okay, final dividend payment date is very close to the expiry date, because between the dividends there will be some significant gap, but final dividend payment date and expiry date have technically no relationship. They are independent of each other, so they can be close to each other. So if they are very close to each other, then in that case we say that it is optimal to exercise if dn is greater than k into 1 minus e raised to minus r t minus tn. Okay, we are using the same inequality, just changing the time slot. So if this is pretty close to 0, then this quantity might get close to 1, and we will have k into a very small factor because 1 minus something close to 1. So in that case dn might get larger and it may be optimal to exercise. Okay, so only in the case of final dividend payment date it may be optimal to exercise American call option. Otherwise, generally it is not optimal to exercise American call option in advance. Okay, and using this, Black has proposed a way to approximate the price of an American call option. So what is that Black's approximation? Let me state. So Black says that you have, suppose, an American option where in between there are many dividend payments T1, T2, Tn, etc. So these are dividend dates with D1, D2, Dn as the amounts of dividends. So value of American call option is maximum of value of European call option maturing at Tn and value of European call option maturing at T. Ideally, American call option gives you more flexibility than European option, and you can exercise at any time point in between. Means you have to consider all possibilities. So what happens if you exercise European option at, say, time point 1, time point 2, etc., and then take maximum of all. But because of the discussion that we just had, Black proposed that you don't need to worry about any time point between 0 to Tn, just worry about these two time points. Okay, so what would happen if you exercise here? If suppose you had a European option, because you know how to compute price of a European option, and what would happen if you exercise here? So compute those two prices, take maximum of that because you will choose whichever is more beneficial, and that becomes value of American call option. Okay, this is an approximation proposed by Black and it works well in most of the cases. Okay, and the reasons we discussed, because it is in most of the cases not optimal to exercise before at any time point before the final dividend payment. Okay, so for example, suppose we have an American option which matures in 6 months and the strike price as well as the initial share price is 40, R is 0.09, sigma is 0.3. So I'm actually using the same values that we used earlier, and we had said that we have dividend payments at 2 months and 5 months of amount 0.5 and 0.5. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to first compute value of European option maturing at 5 months. Okay, so how do you compute that? See, here you have a dividend payment, so you will have to use that dividend payment. Okay, and exercising just before this dividend payment, right? So use S0 as 40 minus 0.5 into e raised to minus r into time 2 by 12. Okay, so this becomes your S0. Using this S0, compute the price of European option maturing at 5 months with T as 5 months, everything else is known to you. Okay, and then compute the price of European option maturing at 6 months. There you have to worry about both the dividend payments because 5th month dividend payment will also happen. So here S0 will be 40 minus 0.5 e raised to minus 0.09 into 2 by 12 minus 0.5 e raised to minus 0.09 into 5 by 12. That becomes your revised S0. Using that revised S naught and t equal to 6 months, you get some value. Okay. And okay, let me give you the final answer. You can confirm. So here it turns out to be 3.52, and here the price turns out to be 3.67, and the value of American option will be maximum of these two, so basically 3.67. okay, so in fact you can see here that this is more pricey, so exercising later is probably more beneficial, means exercising at the final maturity time period is more beneficial. Okay, so let me stop here. Thank you.